Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Laura and Mike, who you may know better as Bunny and Fox. Thanks for your continued support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to episode 96. Now, last time we took down an undead stronghold and officially met the quota for our current patrol mission. We're currently on our way back to Weedmark, but we've just been intercepted by a goblin warband. We could try to outrun them, but they've got us pretty well outmaneuvered. We'll just meet them head-on instead. Honestly, I'm kind of glad this happened. We could really use a break from fighting the endless hordes of the undead. Poison arrows. Still annoying. Of course, all these ambushers and skirmishers are just cannon fodder. The guys we really have to worry about are still hiding in the fog of war. And there's the shaman. Okay, let's start picking these guys off. There's the overseer, too. Fox puts an arrow through a skirmisher's arm, then kills an ambusher with his second shot, and punctures a goblin's windpipe with his third. Wojtek efficiently picks off the one goblin brave enough to charge our formation, then puts another arrow through a second goblin's chest. The rest of the raiders hold position and start tearing at these unnatural vines. Normally we'd actually try to charge these guys, disrupt their formation, and get at those ambushers in the back row. Unfortunately, that's pretty pointless when they've got a shaman. He'd slow our charge to a crawl. Moving into round 2. Brace yourselves, raiders. Okay, we've got an open shot at the overseer and one ambusher. I really feel like we should keep thinning out their rank and file, but let's take a pot shot at the overseer. Bunny puts an arrow in an ambusher's side. Wojtek finishes him off, then lands another glancing hit on that overseer. And again, the raiders will continue holding position. Eventually the goblins will realize that they can't win this war of attrition. Then they'll either charge our line or turn tail and run. Moving into round 3. light hit on Araton. Barely scratched his armor. There's another light hit on Roderick, but he's weathering it pretty well. Okay, let's thin them out a little more, and then they'll probably start advancing. Oh, we've got one rushing towards us. Finally, something for the frontliners to do. The rest of the goblins are still trying to turtle up. Let's see if we can pick off some of those ambushers. That should encourage the rest of these guys to charge. Alessandro cripples an ambusher's leg. Looks like they're still holding back for now. That's fine. We can wait. There we go. We finally got some movement. Oh, nice. Bunny puts an arrow through the Overseer's shoulder. And Fox deals out the finishing blow, killing the Goblin leader. Wojtek follows up by killing a Goblin ambusher. And Alessandro puts an arrow through another ambusher's shoulder. Okay, let's start moving up. Igot leads the charge and immediately gets hit with a net. Let's keep a couple of our guys back, to guard the archers. Oof. We're starting to take a couple of hits here, but still nothing to worry about just yet. Bellefontaine's been covered with horseflies. Woe takes down a lone goblin skirmisher with his billhook, which actually gives us a pretty clear shot at those ambushers. Let's see if we can crowd those guys off the field. Oh, nice. Araton drops a goblin with a well-placed throwing axe. And he clears out another one. Vlad splits a goblin's face open. Oh, and we've got a clear shot at the shaman, which Alessandro immediately takes advantage of, piercing the goblin's ear. Belfontaine falls back to the archer line, at least until those bugs go away. Bunny plants an arrow in the shaman's chest, putting him on the brink of death. Reinhard impales a skirmisher. Ah, so close. The shaman gets to live for one more turn. Moving into round 6. Ooh. Okay. Well, the bad news is that I just got impaled through the shoulder. The good news is that some of the goblins are starting to flee. Woe advances, stabbing a goblin pikeman in the leg twice. Wojtek puts an arrow through a goblin ambusher's chest. Vlad executes a goblin skirmisher, then cripples another one's leg. Araton lands a glancing hit with the last of his throwing axes. Alessandro picks off the second-to-last ambusher, and I think we've officially got these guys on the ropes. throws off yet another net, before knifing the goblin in front of him. Reinhard cuts down a goblin as well. Then he charges with his spear, fatally impaling a fleeing pikeman. Fox finally takes down that shaman. Honestly, I'm amazed he stuck around this long. Oh, and that did it. The rest of the goblins are trying to flee. Woe cuts down a pikeman before he can run, then locks down an ambusher as well. Kairon quickly joins him. At this point, the fight's pretty much over, but we might as well try to get some extra gold and experience points. The ambusher tries to flee, and Reinhard stabs him through the neck. Okay, the last two goblins are broken, so let's get this wrapped up. there you have it. The last two goblins try to flee and are swiftly cut down by Araton and Reinhard. Okay, so Igat's going to be benched while he recovers from that shoulder wound, but on the bright side, Reinhard hits level 17. Which I guess makes sense, because he also pulled MVP with 5 kills. Nicely done. And sadly, the loot is nothing but vendor trash, but that's to be expected when you're fighting goblins. I'll take a moment to go through this stuff off screen, and then we'll keep heading for Weedmark. Count Gotthard von Rabenholt is reading scrolls of papers as he welcomes you in. He's curious as to how many kills you racked up on patrol. You report 35, to which he hums and makes a small note on one of the papers. Nodding his head, he kicks open a chest next to him and starts scooping crowns into a satchel. He hands it over and then, without even looking up, tells you to get out. Well, he may not be grateful, but that's another job well done. Let's take a moment to spend some of the money we just earned, and then we'll take a look at our next job. Let's get Igat's wound treated. Grab some drinks for the men. And let's swing by the armorsmith, see if he's got anything new for us. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's grab another contract. Alright, we've already seen this part. There we go. Count Gotthard von Rabenholt welcomes you into his room with an odd question. Ever been to a graveyard, sellsword? Before you answer, the man pours himself a drink and takes a swig, holding the other hand out to keep you silent. They're a curious thing, unnatural really. What sort of creature takes its dead and goes out to some land, a good piece of land no less, and buries them there? How gaudy, how inconsequential. Is it any surprise then that the dead come back? Perhaps they're haunting us for breaking the natural order. The man tosses you a scroll, and upon it is a well-drawn map. 2 spots are marked: Hill People Tomb and Old Ejnar's Hut. I need you to go to both, destroy them, and come on back. Simple enough for a man of your profession, right? Okay, so this is another special crisis contract. In theory, all we have to do is track down 2 undead strongholds and destroy them. But because this is part of a special event, it's probably not going to be that straightforward. Looks like the tomb is actually pretty far out of the way. Let's hit Ejnar's hut first, then we'll take care of the tomb next episode. And we're back. We're right on the outskirts of Ejnar's hut, but there are at least a couple of enemy patrols wandering around, so we need to be careful with our approach. Yeah, see, we've got goblins wandering right near our target. It's nothing we can't handle, but I'd rather not waste time with them if I don't have to. Vlad Kapesh hands you a scope. Looking through it, you quickly confirm his report. There are necromancers yonder, hurrying through a nearby valley and no doubt trying to elude the RetconRaiders. You collapse the scope and tell the mercenary to ready the men. These necromancers must be hunted down and killed as soon as possible. Well, not what I was expecting, but we can certainly handle a few necromancers, though I've never seen them paired with the Ancient Legion before. There's another undead stronghold. Oh, and this one's actually got an ancient priest in it. But for now, let's stay focused on those necromancers. Okay, not sure what to expect here, but let's see how this goes. Now, the legionaries themselves shouldn't give us much trouble. They're tough, but we've gotten pretty good at destroying them by now. The real wild card is how they interact with the necromancer's spells. Let's move the archers up and see if we can get in a few lucky shots before the fighting gets started. Nice. Wojtek puts an arrow through a necromancer's neck. And Potato finishes off the wounded necromancer. We're off to a really good start. Interesting. The necromancers are clearly powering up their bodyguards, but I don't think they can actually cast spells on the legionaries. Okay, let's bring the frontliners up. We've got contact. Honestly, if those necromancers only buff their bodyguards, then we might be able to ignore them for now. Let's focus on the legionaries first. Just out of range with Rowan's crossbow. Round 2. Let's take a few more pot shots at those casters. Wojtek pierces a necromancer's side. Then Alessandro immediately kills him. And Potato takes off the last one's ear. You know, we may have severely overestimated these guys. Yep, that's all of them. Good shot, Mark. Woe sunders an ancient shieldman's armor. Sir Skelibate takes down our first legionary. Dominic drops another one with a deft swipe of his blade. Janos crushes another ancient shieldman into dust. Okay, we've got a few light scattered hits. Rondus has lost about a third of his armor. Here come the fallen heroes, but they're actually less of a threat than the legionaries are. Okay, moving into round 3. This might actually be a pretty quick fight. Let's start whittling away at that armor. We might need to put Rondis on the defensive. He's already lost half his armor. Rondis destroys another ancient shieldman, then recklessly charges into the enemy line. Round 3. I think it's time for the long axes. There we go. Let's get this guy away from Kairon. Nicely done, Woe. Oh, I probably should have held Skelibate's turn. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. Rondis is still taking a beating, but I think we've got this. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. There we go. Rondis tears through the enemy lines, destroying 2 of the undead. Janos easily crushes a shieldless legionary, then lands a solid hit on a fallen hero as well. Moving into round 5. Okay, let's lay down some suppressing fire. Oof. Now Sir Skelibate's taking a beating. We'll keep an eye on that. Oh, nice. Mark takes down an ancient pikeman with an arrow. Wow, Rondis punched a pretty big hole in their line. He takes out another shieldman and wades back into battle. Janos hammers a fallen hero into the ground like a tent peg. Moving into round 7. The archers continue laying down suppressive fire. Nice shield work, Skelibate. Oh, Rondis is finally struggling with exhaustion. Oof. Janos Martel is exhausted too. Uh-oh. Well, I probably should have seen that coming. Alessandro puts the fallen hero back down. Oh, okay. Sir Skelibate just got stabbed in the neck. Alright, we need to get him out of there, but he'll have to hold until we have an opening. Woe takes down the pikemen on the south. Janos destroys 2 ancient pikemen in rapid succession. Reinhard clears our north side. And Sir Skelibate is clear. Okay, let's wrap this up. Oh, shoot. I moved Skelibate too far away. Well, we'll take care of it in a second. Kairon takes down the other fallen hero. Rowan decapitates the last pikeman. There we go. Potato bandages Sir Skelibate's neck. Round 9. Wojtek steps up and puts the final necromancer out of its misery. Okay, we took a few nasty hits, but thanks to those bandages, we didn't suffer any lasting injuries. No level ups, but it looks like Janos just barely edges out Rondis for MVP. Nicely done. Nothing special as far as loot goes. We've got plenty of room, so we'll just grab everything. The necromancers have been slain, though the light in their eyes is disturbingly slow to depart. Wojtek still seems rather proud about the battle. Look at them, all dead and shite. He bends forward, hands on his knees, shouting in the face of a corpse like it was a deaf man. Where's your dead friends now, Oh, that's right, you're a right dead fellow now. What a shame. You tell the man to ease up, lest these dark magicians have powers beyond the grave. Okay, one stronghold down, one more to go. We'll pause things here for now, but next time we'll wrap up our contract by taking out the Hill People's tomb. And, maybe this stronghold in front of us, too. See you then. Hey, RetconRaider here. I'll admit, I was expecting a bit more out of that last fight, but we really got lucky with those necromancers. After doing a little research, it turns out that while they can't buff legionaries, they can still reanimate them. We just never ended up giving them a chance to actually do it. With that in mind, I think that fight went about as smoothly as it possibly could have. We had a pretty strong start, but as usual, we started struggling once our frontliners began suffering from fatigue. That's really the biggest danger when it comes to fighting the undead. As long as they have even a single hit point left, they'll keep on fighting at maximum capacity. Now, next time, we'll probably start things off by heading for the Hill People's tomb, so we can complete our current contract. That's actually a stronghold that we discovered very early in the campaign. I just never got around to raiding it because I was worried that we weren't ready to take on the Ancient Legion. That's obviously changed at this point, so it'll be nice to get some closure. I'm also sorely tempted to raid that other stronghold that we just discovered. We've never fought an ancient priest before, and I'd like to kill at least one before we end our current campaign. Unfortunately, I just can't help but feel that it's really an unnecessary risk. We're already pretty beat up, and we've still got a job to do halfway across the kingdom. I'll definitely have to give it some thought between episodes. But for now, this is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the fan-run wiki. Links are in the description.